Hello, this is your evil twin, welcoming you back to Let's Play Quantum Break. It's been quite some time since we played as Jack Joyce. The last bit of gameplay was starring Paul Serene, and then we had the first episode of the live-action Quantum Break series, and then a bonus video showing off some unlocked optional story content, the Quantum Ripples and the audio diaries. So, before we dive back into Jack's story, how about a little recap? Previously on Let's Play Quantum Break.
I came back home to see my best friend, Paul Serene.
Jack Joyce, in the flesh.
He wanted to show me what he'd been working on. Paul said it was world-changing. 2 minutes to the past.
Jack. Well, you have to help me with this. We have to shut this thing down now. Zero state. What have we done? Jack!
There's no other way out. I'm going through the machine.
Paul, wait.
No! Jack! This way! Jack!
Are you Jack Joyce?
Where's my brother?
You might still be able to catch them.
Paul?
I'm sorry, Jack. I never wanted this.
We can't risk any unwanted attention. Initialize a PR campaign. We need the city on our side.
And now it's time for Act 2. Perfect place to hide something.
Let's talk about the dry dock incident. Monarch operatives transported you from the university to the Ground Zero operation at the shipyard.
Still upset about that, huh?
You were secured, unconscious.
Will?
Liam Burke went to retrieve you, and you were gone. How?
Sleepwalking.
Step away! Right now! You've 3 seconds till I pull.
Had better reflexes.
And you're a marksman.
We know Beth Wilder assisted you in some manner.
Then I'm guessing you know the rest.
No, because everybody who saw what you did next is now dead.
We just got the Spreading Ripples achievement.
I didn't have a clue where I was or why. Never questioned it because it didn't feel real. Still waiting to wake up.
That achievement was for watching a live-action episode with both of its quantum ripples unlocked. It triggers now because this is the first bit of gameplay after watching the show. And if we activate time vision here, it brings up a sort of radar that shows the direction of a Chronon source. I'm guessing that it's some sort of anomalous concentration of Chronon particles. And Jack can drain that energy to upgrade his powers. Now at the top of the list we have the Active Pulse upgrade, which makes it so that whenever you time dodge, you also automatically get a quick moment of time vision, making enemies glow red and be visible through walls. From a gameplay perspective, that's very useful, it gives you great combat awareness. When it comes to the visuals, it's not so nice. The game has great graphics, and the enemies have very detailed models and textures, so it's a bit of a shame to have X-ray vision with bright red glowing enemies whenever you're time dodging during a fight. So I'm going to wait with getting Active Pulse for the moment, and instead go with upgrading Time Stop. The increased strength upgrade means that the bubbles of frozen time last longer, giving more time to shoot into the time bubbles and stack bullets. Now you might be thinking that white light is another Chronon source, but there's actually nothing there. But we have now got the Chronon Surge achievement for upgrading one of Jack's powers. For some reason the achievement triggers the first time you use time vision after getting your first upgrade.
Thanks for that.
Beth Wilder risked blowing her cover to rescue you. Sounds like you didn't exactly return the favor.
No, I didn't.
Right, let's climb up here and onto this catwalk and make our escape.
The old industrial area. Why am I here?
You can see autumn leaves that are frozen in midair. The stutter's getting a bit glitchy. Time is about to return to normal. Some birds just unfroze. Now, if we listen very carefully, can just about faintly make out the sound of Beth Wilder's voice. Can't make out the words, but she's having the argument with Liam Burke that we saw in the live-action episode. And here, there's some interesting graffiti. That's Liam Burke and Beth Wilder, pointing pistols at each other. That scene just happened in the building we just left. In fact, it's still happening now.
Only way forward.
Even if tutorials and hints were turned off, the shafts of light would draw your eye's attention to that crane.
Huh.
And the time vision icon is flashing. There must be some kind of time anomaly.
Well, that's weird.
This is a time trigger. Jack can manipulate the timeline of these objects to rewind them in time.
Okay, doesn't last. Noted. When the fracture broke time, some objects became unstable. With my new abilities, I can manipulate their timelines, rewind them.
It turns out that the rewind time trigger isn't the only thing that's got Jack's time sensors tingling. There's also a Chronon source. Chronon sources are invisible unless Jack uses time vision within a few meters of them. And they start glowing, and they stay visible even during normal vision. Now if we go down to the time dodge upgrades, we can get increased focus, which should mean that aiming at the end of a time dodge will cause the slow motion to last a bit longer. I've got to be honest, I'm not sure how much of a difference it actually makes. The increase in focus time doesn't actually seem noticeable, so if there is an increase, it must just be an extra quarter of a second. Enough time to maybe fire one extra bullet. But of course that extra split second might be just enough to ensure you get a headshot before time returns to normal. Right, simple bit of platforming. From here we can make our way round. And then get into this locked room through its collapsed ceiling. Can hear someone talking.
There's still no word from Burke on Jack Joyce's position.
Very well. Ready a chopper for me at the dry dock. I'm heading to the island.
Roger. We'll have the chopper.
Seeing Paul's face on that screen, it was some kind of sick reminder. I couldn't escape what had happened, what he did. I needed to know why, but part of me wanted to put a fucking bullet in his head before he could open his mouth.
Want us to send additional teams to search for Joyce?
Negative. Focus efforts in our PR campaign. Amy Ferrero's confession goes live in a matter of minutes.
What about Jack Joyce?
Once that confession hits the air, the whole city will be looking for him. He'll have nowhere to turn. He'll come to me tonight.
At the gala? You're sure?
Positive.
Huh. Clarice Ogawa's name just changed to Clarice Urbano. I'm guessing that's an error, an old placeholder texture they forgot to fix. Can grab an assault rifle and ammo here. And as well as Monarch helmets and caps, there's some kind of portable device that looks a bit like a polygraph, a lie detector. Or maybe a seismograph for detecting earthquakes.
Monarch had bought out the entire industrial district for their operation. It'd make for an easy escape.
This Ground Zero map is similar to the one we saw when we were playing as Paul. It has coloured zones with their own Chronon safety protocols. In the green zone, you don't need to wear any special protection, but shouldn't stay in there for longer than 8 hours at a time. In the yellow zone, you need to wear personal protective equipment, and you need special training to be allowed in the red zone. Here's our first narrative object that's altered by our junction decision. It's a poster setting out Monarch's PR strategy. It's mostly been typed and printed, but there's also some handwritten notes and a photo of Jack added to it.
That chart was the first sign. Monarch had built an entire PR campaign to protect their reputation.
So this must have been put together during the events of the past night, especially the stuff about forcing Amy to produce confession videos and starting a witch hunt for Jack Joyce. However, when they printed this poster, they didn't count on capturing Jack and then immediately losing him again. So someone's added handwritten orders about tracking down Jack and finding and terminating whoever is helping him. What I find more interesting is the last section, which is the long-term strategy. The most immediate part is inviting all lifeboat participants to the Monarch Island annual gala, where Paul Serene will do a speech and will reveal something called the CFR to reassure investors. And then in a couple of months there will be the Lifeboat Protocol test and the Chronon Tech Phase 3 rollout, where lifeboat participants will be shown a tech demonstration by Dr. Sophia Amaral, as well as new Juggernaut plating and a Chronon harness civilian prototype. After that there will be a weapons demonstration, the first weapons tests on a Chronon saturated individual in Dr. Kim's lab. Have specimen ready. Next to these security monitors there's a laptop with another narrative object, but before we check that out, what's this? If you're able to read upside down, you can see that sitting next to the laptop is an invitation to the Monarch Gala. Oh, whoopsie daisy! That invitation just fell into the rubbish bin, causing a Monarch employee to lose their gala invitation, and triggering a quantum ripple. As for the email on this laptop, it's from Charlie, Monarch's dickhead computer guy we saw in the live-action episode. He's letting the Monarch troops know that Paul Serene has approved the PR plan, and they need to record Amy's confession within the next half hour. Also, Charlie is arranging for covert transport of the device that was stolen from the university. Charlie doesn't have the security clearance to know what it is, and he has a good grumble about that. Of course, we know that it's the core of the time machine. There's also a line about Liam Burke leading the search for Jack Joyce. $5 to anybody who could make Burke smile. Probably the first likeable thing Charlie has said, mocking how stoic and serious Liam Burke is all the time.
Hey, what's Reaper Squad doing with those video cameras up in A3?
Looks like some bitch named Amy's gonna be the poster girl for Serene's PR campaign. Filming confession videos. We blew the library to create misdirection. The media's gonna latch to that, and Amy's gonna tell them the protesters were behind the whole thing.
You honestly think that's gonna be enough? You got a hell of a lot of noise out there.
Well, you haven't seen Serene and Hatch work their magic. 11 minutes after we left, I heard the cleaners had every bullet hole filled. Police have the whole campus roped off. But guess who paid off the police?
Jesus.
Interesting detail about filling the bullet holes and the police being paid off. Now, we can use time vision to help plan our attack, such as how to make best use of that hanging crate full of explosive barrels. It might help to freeze the enemies.
It's him! Joyce is here!
And then it's a good idea to ignite the barrels before damaging the crate. Time dodge. Focus time. Time stop. Time shield. Lets us regenerate health and stay in the fight. And grab that heavy pistol. That was an awesome death yell. The guy who shouted, "Don't get close," and is now shooting at us. That is a new enemy type. An ordinary Monarch security guard with no body armor. He goes down in just 3 bullets from the assault rifle or ordinary pistol. And that was a shotgunner, so let's grab his semi-auto shotgun. It's based on a modern pump-action shotgun called the Keltec KSG. And Jack actually has a little pump-action animation after firing or reloading, so don't know why they decided to call it semi-auto. Ah, damn, I was out of shield. I let myself get surrounded. Well, the upside of dying and replaying this fight is that the enemy patrol routes are reset, and there should be an opportunity to use the crane and explosive barrels when there are 3 enemies standing next to it, rather than just the 2 that there was after the conversation in the first attempt. Sometimes it's actually possible to crush them under the barrels.
Joyce is here!
Not this time, though. Nice! Got the area effect achievement for killing 15 enemies with environmental explosions. Such as blowing up cars and barrels.
Flush him out! There's that Joyce guy!
The game counts the kills from the previous attempt, and when I replayed parts. Such as that earlier video where I showed off aiming for the mouse and shot a fire extinguisher in the university lab. Shotgunners have as much body armor as SWAT troopers, but they're more vulnerable to headshots. Instead of helmets, they have ballistic balaclavas and goggles. The shotgun fires a spread of 8 pellets, each as powerful as a bullet from the pistol or assault rifle. At long range, the spread means most of the pellets will miss, but at close range it's lethal.
That's for Will.
You might have noticed during that fight that the time vision icon started flashing. And if we activate time vision, we can detect a Chronon source nearby. The radar seems to indicate that it's here in this office, but that is misleading. The Chronon source is actually above this office. The radar doesn't give you any indication of height.
This elevator looks like the only way out of here. There's gotta be a generator around here somewhere. No power. Figures.
If we follow this handy yellow power cable, we can easily find that generator.
There we go.
It's a bit obvious, but it's training us to remember that mechanic for later.
What the hell is that? Hello?
Jack, this is Beth Wilder.
Beth? You're the one my brother was looking for.
I'm the one who was attempting to rescue your ass until you decided to go on a gun-blazing ship parade through that warehouse. Now listen closely. You're at the outskirts of a Monarch Chronon harvesting operation, and Paul Serene is at the dry docks nearby. Not a recipe for fun times. So how about...
Dry docks? If Paul's at the dry docks, then that's where I'm...
No! Jack, the fracture is our only priority now. Time is ending. Will said he...
Will's dead. My best friend came back a goddamn monster. He knew this would happen. He prepared for it. But Paul's the key to understanding all this, and I'm gonna find...
We both know that if you find Serene, you're not gonna be asking questions. Think this through.
I'm not sure when Beth got the chance to slip a radio earpiece into Jack's pocket. Here's that Chronon source we were detecting downstairs.
Alright.
I think now's a good opportunity to upgrade Jack's time shield with the recovery upgrade, which speeds up Jack's health regeneration whenever he's within a time shield. Very useful. Means that even if Jack is in a shield for just a second or two, that'll be enough to replenish a significant amount of Jack's health.
Paul was at the dry docks in the distance. I recognized the place. William had a workshop in that industrial area for years. I knew that couldn't be a coincidence.
I did what you said, okay? Please just let me go.
You did good, Amy. Broadcast just went out, but Hatch wants a follow-up confession. You got the script?
Yeah, this one's more reflective. Like, wish we could undo what we done sort of deal. Dave will feed you the lines.
Dave? You're using your names. You're not letting me go, are you? You're never letting me go. Please. I didn't do anything. I just...
It ain't fair, right? So use that on camera. Protest got out of hand. Thank God Monarch was there to save us.
No. I'm not doing this again. You're not letting me go. I'm not gonna do this.
Are you fucking sure about that, princess?
Not the time to play hero. Stay on side, we all go home. Hey, maybe pay those student loans of yours. I'll give you a minute to clear your head. Obviously. Close it!
I wonder if they would have kept their word and let Amy go. It probably wasn't a good sign that they were calling each other by name.
Jack, Joyce.
You. From the protest. What do you...
I am so sorry. I didn't want to, but they made me do it.
They made you do what? What is this place?
They forced me to make false confessions for the news, I think. I'm so sorry, Jack. They were armed.
Hey, whatever you did, it's not your fault. None of this is your fault. I'm just glad you're okay.
There's a new type of collectible here, an intel item. And since we've now found at least one quantum ripple and one intel item, this unlocks the achievement A Link to the Future. Intel items are characters' personal belongings. This one is Martin Hatcher's Chronon eye drops. Mysterious. Wonder what they're for.
God, I knew Monarch was doing something, but this is completely fucked up.
Over here, we have a laptop of emails between Paul Serene and Sophia Amaral. Sophia is worried that although the fracture happened exactly when it was supposed to, the stutters are occurring much more frequently than was expected. She's also worried that Paul didn't have a treatment before he left, and that if he doesn't continue consistent treatments, then they will become less effective and his sickness will intensify. Paul replies that she's worrying too much, that their preparations will be complete by the time the fracture has run its course. He's been to the end of time and he's seen how this plays out. He says he's almost finished at Ground Zero, so he'll head to the island for his treatment very soon. Also, the gala tonight is important to reassure the team that the plan is moving forward without further complications. Even those who aren't aware of the lifeboat protocol need a guarantee that their efforts are not in vain. They need to know that Paul is in control. It's worth noting that Sophia says, "I'm worried about you," and Paul says, "I couldn't have done this without you, Sophia." So there seems to be a personal element to this. Time vision is pulsing to say there's a Chronon source nearby, but if we use time vision we can see that it's not actually in here. Also, here's the camera and green screen that Monarch was using to record Amy's fake confession videos.
Listen, I need to get to the dry docks. Do you know the way?
No, I don't think so. But they took me in through a security station nearby. I can help you find a way through there. I owe you.
Oh, Amy, you're a protester, an activist. I'm sure you'd help Jack even if you didn't owe him anything. Well, I suppose it takes a lot of guts for Amy to help him after Monarch threatened her family.
The security station is right over there. Oh, I knew Monarch had a dark side, but this? They're controlling the entire media, everything.
They can't cover this up. It's too big.
They can. Trust me.
That Chronon source is around here somewhere.
It's locked. Okay, there must be a gate control around somewhere.
Yeah, I'll check.
Another one of those seismographs.
Monarch's twisting the story for the media, claiming the protest went hostile and that we detonated the library. They're blaming you, Jack.
I'm Paul's scapegoat.
This isn't good. Once that newscast goes live, the whole city is going to be against you. Nobody's going to have a clue what really happened.
Some Monarch Chronon technology.
Do you think the others are okay from the university?
I have no idea.
They told me they were sent home, but I don't know what to believe anymore.
So the Chronon source is actually locked away inside this building. Also, it turns out the seismograph-looking machine we saw earlier is one of many T-field sensors, which I guess means time field sensor. Also called a CR detector, a Chronon detector. Another locked door. We still can't get to that Chronon source. So close and yet so far.
Hey, it worked. It's not holding long. I don't think you're fast enough.
That can be fixed.
This security system must need a guard to stay at the controls and keep the button pressed. Or superpowers!
Oh my god! You're just like them.
Like who?
I saw them on the way in. These geared up soldiers that blink in and out.
Okay. Something new to look forward to.
You know, I thought I was losing my mind when I saw that. You're part of this. I need to know what's going on.
You really want to open that can of worms?
You just defied physics. I'm entitled to all the worms.
Alright, my brother tried to explain. Time is an egg, which is now fucked. A time egg, which is... it's fucked. It's like broken. I don't know.
What? Why is there an egg?
Time is ending. Monarch has something to do with it. Get me to the dry docks and I'll find out why.
Ah, the return of the dreaded time egg. That wasn't a useful analogy when Will used it, and it's even less useful when Jack tries to. Now, with a bit of climbing and platforming, we can grab this Chronon source. Now, when we rejoin Amy, she'll head towards the door to the Monarch security station. But rather than following her, let's do some more platforming and get the Chronon source that we couldn't get to earlier. When I first played this, I got quite frustrated at not being able to get into that locked room. They tease you by letting you see the Chronon source behind a locked door, so you don't want to move on to the next area until you've solved the problem. Annoyingly, it actually requires you to give up and move on to this train yard area, where you can then find this route that lets you backtrack, get onto the roof, and then drop down into the locked room. You'll notice I've not actually used the last couple of upgrade points. I'm saving them up.
Yeah, that should work. Wait here. Hit.
In case you didn't catch that, Amy's just noticed an open window.
Okay, well, I'll fill you in with what I know, but when you put the pieces together, it all goes banana pancakes. So everyone thinks that Monarch is run by this smarmy asshole named Martin Hatch, but everyone here answers to a guy named Paul Serene. And apparently he founded Monarch in 1999. Now, here's the thing. Paul Serene is the exact name of a guy who's heading some top secret physics project at my university. So it's gotta be the same guy, right? Wrong. If I heard that Monarch was there to steal the project from the university, why would you steal something for yourself? Also, I saw that guy Paul Serene on campus once, and he looked like 30 years old. So if you started Monarch in 1999, that would make him 14. So unless he's the Doogie Howser of corporate America, that's impossible. Banana fucking pancakes.
So Paul founded Monarch.
Now that we've collected the last Chronon source in this area, and Amy's revealed what she's learned about Monarch and Paul Serene, let's move on.
Need to get up to that open window.
Yeah, the window's high up, but I think it's the only way in.
Is that another one of those rewind things? Starting to get the hang of this.
That window. Do you think you can get in through there?
Yeah, Amy, that's where I'm going, right now. Jeez.
Made it. Now to get to that door.
The moment she's finished talking about Monarch, she starts bugging you every few seconds. If you're still searching for Chronon sources, that gets very irritating very fast.
Hello? Did you forget about me in there?
You see what I mean?
Finally. Good work. I need to make this right. I'm gonna use the terminal up here and try and dig up what Monarch's really up to.
Ferraro, an eyewitness on the scene. Amy, tell us, what is going on here?
There were people from our group who took things too far. Shit. Things got very violent. I'm so sorry, Jack. They forced me to do it.
I know.
Because of Jack Joyce.
There's nothing you could have
Sounds
done.
like a terrifying scene down there. We really
That
appreciate
map
you
over there should help you
bravery
figure
going
out a
on
route.
record to speak out against what appears to be such a dangerous person.
Ground Zero. That's the same area my brother used to have his workshop. I may have to pass through there to get to Paul.
Paul? As in Paul Serene? That's why you're going to the dry docks.
We have unfinished business. You may want to stay here until I'm done.
Yeah. I think you're right. I'll open the door for you.
Okay, stay in contact. Find a radio. I'll be on channel 3. And be careful.
Yeah. You too.
The door is open, but before we go, there's a laptop with emails between a couple of Monarch employees, Ashton Levy and Gil Kenstrew. Ashton's asking about the rumours of Jack Joyce taking out 7 squads on his own, disappearing into thin air, being in more than one place at the same time. Gil's saying it's just rumours and conjecture. There's no way Jack could have taken out all those guards. He's just some random guy, not a trained assassin. But, off the record, Paul Serene has been investigating a potential traitor within Monarch. There's a rumour that someone sabotaged the tests that Dr. Amaral was doing to find a cure for Serene's sickness. So now she's had to start over.
Seriously, don't worry about me. Just do what you need to do.
Conspiracies and intrigue going on behind the scenes at Monarch.
Mr. Serene's chopper is inbound for...
Hey, Clarice? That you?
This is HQ Alpha. Charlie, I told you to stay off the operations channel.
Sure, Clarice, listen. Hatch told me to search for Joyce. I've got footage of Burke taking out a guard in A1. Back of Monarch truck was left open. Now I'm checking cameras in A3 and guards are either sleeping on the job or, not sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Catch my drift?
Joyce.
With a trajectory towards kicking over some expensive-ass sandcastles. Look, I'm gonna keep looking for him. I'm just giving you a heads up, okay? Over an hour or whatever.
Reading emails and listening to radio messages from characters that we saw in the live-action show definitely helps the game and the show to feel interconnected, rather than two separate things.
Still no word on Joyce's location.
Yeah, I heard his brother scream like a bitch when he died. When he shows his face, I'll make him do the same.
Son of a... And Jack's anger triggers a new power. Time Blast.
We're under attack!
Did I scream enough for you? My powers were unpredictable. They kept growing by leaps and bounds.
Killing 3 enemies with a single Time Blast just got us the achievement. Everybody gather around. using time stop and bullet stacking on just a basic security guard. Overkill is fun.
Jack, I found a radio. You okay?
I'm still kicking.
Monarch radio is lighting up. They heard a noise and know you're coming. Be careful out there.
Thanks for the heads up.
Time Blast uses the same button as Time Stop, except you hold the button to charge it up. It's like a supercharged destructive stutter in time. As well as freezing things, it severely disrupts the timelines of people and objects, putting them out of sync, with lethal consequences.
What do we got here?
That's the 7th and final Chronon source for this part of the game. And since we've only used 3 upgrade points so far, we'll now have 4 available to spend all at once. We could further upgrade Time Shield, but I'm actually keen to upgrade Time Stop. With 4 upgrade points, we can get the Increased Size upgrade, which makes it easier to catch multiple enemies within one time stop bubble.
Contact!
Oh, great.
Shotgunner advancing on hostile!
Mother...
Wanna talk this out?
This shotgunner is a heavy trooper. That's my name for them, it's not official. Some people also call them safeguards. Their armour makes them slow, but unless you use time powers, they'll just march through your gunfire until they can blow you away at close range. There we go. And now we can refill our shotgun ammo.
Hey, Joyce, he's trouble, over.
You're right, Joyce is trouble. In fact, he's going to give you a real hard time. I liked how when I froze that last guy, someone shouted, "Friendly can't move!" And a minute ago, when I froze the heavy trooper, someone shouted, "That's impossible!" New weapon here, the Advanced SMG. Same rate of fire as the normal submachine gun, and it does less damage, but has a huge magazine of 48 bullets. And it's very accurate. There's no recoil or kick at all. And like the normal SMG, the fast rate of fire makes it great for bullet stacking.
Joyce, you got your...
Oops, missed of that time bubble. As you can see, it took loads of bullets to take that guy down, but none of those bullets missed. And they kept him staggered and reeling. That's got a really quick reload time as well, so Jack can hose enemies down with a continuous stream of bullets. It's almost like a low-powered laser. The design is based on the Magpul PDR, which was a prototype assault rifle that never went into production. Except Remedy has made it into a submachine gun rather than an assault rifle. So I guess Remedy just liked its futuristic look. And there's another heavy trooper. So let's try our new Time Blast against him. Well, it hurt him and staggered him, but he's still alive. Ah, what happened? Maybe he fired a shot just as I froze him, and then his shots hit me when the bubble disappeared.
Talk this out?
Ah, nice! Killed him in one go with bullet-stacked headshots. I'm getting a bit of deja vu fighting the same enemies again. In fact, you could say it's a real blast from the past. Got the Advanced SMG again. Oh yes, time stop bubbles are much bigger now, thanks to that increased size upgrade. Oh, I thought I was shooting at both of them, but a load of shots missed and hit a railing. Must have been because of the distortion. Right, now if I use Time Vision and Time Stop, you can see that the bubble refracts the light, making it look as if the bad guy is standing a couple of feet to the left, while the red glow from time vision shows where he's actually standing. That's one problem with larger time stop bubbles. They cause a lot of visual distortion. So you shouldn't try and be a sharpshooter when firing at enemies in time bubbles. Instead, it's best to just spray in their general direction, a cone a few feet wide, to take into account any optical illusions. Here come the shotgunners, helpfully yelling "Shotgunner, moving in!" Ah, they set off some smoke bombs to cover their entrance. Oh damn! I tried to blow up the barrel, and I must have missed due to the distortion. Or maybe this SMG's damage is so low that a couple of bullets wasn't enough to ignite the barrel. Reload the shotgun. You're only allowed to carry 10 shotgun shells, 5 in the gun and 5 in reserve. Now for the heavy trooper. Their armour is like a bomb disposal suit. It takes 2 time blasts to kill one, or half a dozen explosive barrels. They can also survive several headshots from weaker weapons, though a few shotgun blasts to the face should do the trick. The game counts shotguns as special heavy weapons. There are 3 weapon slots, 1 for pistols, 1 for SMGs and assault rifles, and 1 for heavy weapons such as shotguns. Kept missing that guy. And he was an ordinary security guard. Using the shotgun was overkill anyway. Right, 1 guy left, and Time Blast's cooldown meter has just recovered.
Still okay out there?
Yeah. Any idea where I go next?
Well, before you said hi, Gatehouse Squad was talking about activating security measures to lock some door on the 2nd floor.
That's a start. Thanks.
Amy giving us some useful info there. Right, this being America, up here would be the 2nd floor. In the UK, we'd call it the 1st floor. It's the 1st level above the ground floor. Ah, this looks promising.
Looks like a way out. Now, how do I get it open?
Now, once again, we can follow a yellow cable, and that will lead us to whatever controls the lock for this door.
Hey, Jack. The husky lady on Monarch Radio seems to be unable to reach Gatehouse Squad. Remember the geared-up soldiers I mentioned who do the teleporty stuff you do?
Yeah.
Apparently, they're intending to say hi back, with a grudge. So there's that. Regarding some kind of Chronon particle harvesting operation. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm looking into it. Keep you posted.
The time vision icon is flashing, so that means there's some kind of time anomaly here. Turns out it's another time trigger, and Jack can use it to rewind the timelines of the security fence door and the stack of crates.
Joyce just took out Gatehouse Squad and you still don't have eyes on him? What do they pay you for over there, huh?
Charlie, just tell me where he is.
Do I hear please?
Charlie?
Warehouse B4. Better hurry.
Storehouse 1. You heard him? Move in.
On our way.
That radio message counted as a narrative object. And now here's the last one for this part, an email from Charlie to Martin Hatch, where Charlie forwards on an email between Liam Burke and Beth Wilder. It turns out that before today, Liam and Beth were friends, and also Liam already had his doubts about Monarch. Liam had been allowed lots of freedom to come and go, but at the cost of having low security clearance. He could tell that most of his team members knew something that they were not eager to share. And he found it suspicious that the plan for the university mission had very detailed predictions of the dates and times of future events. Apparently Monarch told them that their directive is to protect the world from dangers that lie ahead. But Liam was getting the feeling that there's something coming that they're doing absolutely nothing to stop. And he's not going to just sit back and watch if there's a chance he could put his wife Emily in danger. So this email makes Liam's change of heart during the live-action episode far more plausible. He was practically on Beth's side already, he just needed that little push.
Hey, just turned off security.
Uh-oh. Jack, they're coming your way.
Time trigger just reverted. All the boxes that vanished have now reappeared. And now that we've unlocked the security door, a load of bad guys have just come through it. Where stutter has just occurred during the middle of a gunfight. Haha! He didn't know what hit him. If you have your time shield up, but you don't need it anymore, it's good to run out of it so that it will stop early and you don't waste all of your shield power. You can activate the time shield as long as you have at least a third of your shield energy available. And once you've used it, there's a 2-second delay before the energy meter will start to refill. In fact, all of the other powers have that 2-second delay before they start to regenerate. Oh cool, another time stutter. Oh crap, I thought he'd be dead. I thought I'd shot him in the head enough times. And he's still alive after that time blast. Right, this calls for the heavy pistol. Yes, heavy pistol to the head for massive damage. That finished him off. Okay, all of Jack's powers have recovered, except for Time Blast. Time Dodge and Time Stop use up half their energy meters whenever you use them. So if a meter is full, you can dodge twice or create 2 time bubbles in quick succession. Time Blast is the exception though. One blast uses up the entire meter, and it takes longer to fill up than any other. While Time Vision doesn't use up any energy at all. So, we experienced a few mini stutters during that fight, which suggests there might be a full-on proper stutter soon. Now that we've dealt with this squad of Monarch troopers, we can head through the open security door. And that will be the end of Act 2, Part 1. In Part 2, we'll be heading towards Ground Zero, and we can look forward to encountering those geared up teleporty soldiers that Amy mentioned. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join me next time.